Cincinnati Music Hall, right? Literally built on top of a pauper's graveyard.
Who's afraid of the dark or unknown? Welcome to Monsters Lounge. Pull up your covers, kids. The discussion is about to begin.
Oh,
I know. That is a solid intro. I'm looking for new intros because, hey, everybody, welcome to Monsters Lounge. Doesn't really have the zing to it that it once did.
yeah.
And that lovely intro was written by Tabitha Meadows, who, Tressa, if you will recall,
I will, maybe.
is one of the two people that are partners, and they isolated that sound for us from a couple of months back.
That's a really fun detail. Thank you so much, Tabitha, for both of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
I know.
Knocking it out of the park. Thank you.
Seriously. Big fan of Tabitha. Also, I love her name, and it just sounds like magic.
Listen, if my kid were female, I would have been either Tabitha or Apollonia.
Both of those names are beautiful.
Thank you.
And I like the meadows at the end, too. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of hoping that we hear that sound again. Maybe a little bit more clarity to it so we could understand. What? Oh. What do you mean, shut up? You shut up.
No, you go ahead.
You shut up. All right. So if anybody has any other ideas for intros, please reach out and let us know. You can always contact us via Instagram or Facebook or send us an email at monstersloungepodcast@gmail.com.
We love hearing from you. And oh wait, that's not time yet. Okay.
No, that's the end of the show. Don't do that. Everybody's going to think that we already talked about something, which we really didn't. So tonight we have kind of a different show. We've been doing a few things differently lately, and it's
switching it up.
Switching it up. We'll go back to other things too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about some hauntings, which we rarely do, and which we are for sure not experts on whatsoever.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I don't even know how to use any of that equipment whatsoever. I mean, maybe turning it on switch.
No, probably not.
No, I don't know how to use it. That's okay, because I don't think that our guest is an expert on it either.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm. But we're going to be talking about haunted music venues, and our delightful guest, who is on loan to us tonight from the Paranormal 60 news crew.
What's that?
Please welcome Chachi.
What's
Chachi.
going on?
Yay!
I like how for a moment I felt like you had dissed me by saying that I didn't know, and then I was like, damn, she's right. I don't know. This is exciting.
It's fine.
You know,
We're
I
all
love
idiots
music.
here. Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Listen,
Thanks for having me.
I cater to my buddies. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Yeah. Especially because this is not a subject that I would have researched, I think, on my own. And it's interesting. It's really interesting. That's it.
You sound like you're lying.
No, I'm actually telling the truth because we're going to start off at a place called Red Rocks.
Oh.
I believe you all have heard about it.
I'm familiar.
Yes. Hang on, guys, because
Like
this place, that place, as you can see, it has some interesting geological features.
Oh, let's look again. Yep. You are correct.
It's amazing what nature can make.
Right. A whole amphitheater just for bands to play
Who
in?
would have thought?
I wouldn't have.
God loves music.
It's
That
true.
might be my hashtag on the next show. God loves music.
But just look really serious every single time you say it. Stare directly into the camera.
Almost angry.
There you go. I like that.
More like satanic almost.
Wow.
That'll get people excited.
Yeah, well, no problems there. No notes.
Tell me what you know about Red Rocks. It's on my bucket list. I've never been.
Neither have I.
I'm surprised you haven't, actually. What's your problem?
I'm spending a lot of my time cross-pollinating podcasts at this point. I think that's the word.
Yeah.
Moving on. So into Red Rocks, we got a lot of sandstone in Red Rocks, but it also has Those two big portions that you see, like those big outcroppings, are something called the Fountain Formation, which is interesting in the fact that the bedrock that it sits on is a lot of granite. As we know, granite is very conducive to electromagnetic as it contains a lot of quartz. Why are you looking at me suspiciously, Tressa? This is
Because
not.
I heard a weird thing, and I don't know if it's just the.
I think it was my
technical
stomach, honestly. So you're welcome
Fair.
for that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it was the first time too. I just was too embarrassed to mention it. Now it's all out there.
Usually me. Hey,
Mhm.
that's fine. Tell me more about rocks.
So the cool thing about that is that these rocks are pretty old. They are part of the outcropping upburst of those rocks are part of the Rocky Mountain range. So that's interesting as well, because we know that throughout the Rockies, there's a lot of paranormal events that happen, and there's a lot of different geological eras that kind of combine, which is really, really cool. So it was from kind of the same period of time as the Garden of Gods and the Flatirons were formed. So that is also neat.
That's Colorado Springs, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. But beautiful structures. So anyway, so a lot of weird stuff going on there. So the amphitheater began construction in 1936 and was formally dedicated June 15th, 1941. So it's old. Red Rock Cemetery.
Oh, really?
Well, it's a little bit older. So the cemetery, there is a cemetery located kind of right next to it.
It wasn't built on top of it? Wait, that's a different thing.
That's a different thing. Yeah, but it's right next to it. And it was started in like 1800 something.
And that was where old lady Johnson or whatever, that's where her husband and eventually she was buried, correct?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of old lady Johnson.
Oh, tell me about her. She sounds fun.
She was fun. Now, she's like the hatchet lady of Red Rocks, right? So they've got a hatchet lady running around.
That was the fun part I was referencing. So yes, continue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple of different sightings about her. She's usually sitting on the higher peaks, like right around the amphitheater. Yeah. Sometimes she's headless.
Huh.
I don't really know why, but sometimes she is reported as headless. And I don't really know why, because she is the one who is usually wielding the axe.
What's she usually wearing?
I don't know. What is she wearing?
Nothing.
That was a little tidbit that I did not uncover.
Oh, that's too bad, because it's my favorite tidbit. Naked old ladies with hatchets. Let's go.
Now, was she in the cemetery or in the amphitheater?
Yep.
I think she's been seen in both places.
What I read was she would chase people and cars down that were leaving or trying to.
Okay. I'm chasing cars down. It's impressive. So she was a speedy naked old lady carrying a hatchet.
Oh, the pendulism that was going on. Is that a word? I don't think so. But still, let's run with it because it's fun.
I don't know that we can run with that one.
I'm going to.
I think that's kind of just a stopper right there.
I like it.
Pour more of whatever that is.
Water, thank you.
Anyway, there's also old hiking trails that you used to be able to walk into the back of. Do you know anything about this part?
No. Are there naked people haunting the trails as well?
I don't think they're naked, but I'm pretty sure that they've run into some ghosts. I don't think they're used anymore. At least not to get into like the venue.
Trails? You said they weren't used anymore. Which one?
The trails. I think it would be implied that it would be the trails. What are you using ghosts for?
I thought it was the naked ghosts weren't being used.
Yeah, don't judge me.
Listen, I'm just going to move on from that one.
Swallow.
Yep. Where are we going with this? You are now muted.
I'm not right now, but listen, are you saying that we're going to move on to the next venue?
No, we're just going to move on to the next thing about Red Rocks.
I'm sorry,
because I'm done with talking about the naked ghosts.
I'm not. I will never be, but go ahead.
Listen, there is also a trading post store there that used to be called the Indian Trading Post. Not great.
That's why it's not called that.
I know. Employees have reportedly seen and heard all kinds of crazy noises. They've seen merchandise go missing, things fall off the shelves all the time, and the rather obvious sort of malevolent feel centering around there. Now, here's a really cool part too. Not too terribly long ago, I mean like 2 months ago, there was a UFO spotted.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And it was spotted by like, yes.
During a concert?
I don't know. I don't think it was. I think that it was just.
Or Dave Matthews, was it?
No.
No. Want to be clear.
There was no river bridge that they. Go ahead.
And yeah.
You're welcome.
That was nice. No, it was a large disc-shaped craft above the venue, and this was seen by employees. About 12 of them. 12 people saw this thing.
Listen, I was looking into this because you reminded me of it, but there's no pictures, and I get it. Pictures are hard to get. I understand. That's fine. And there were so many eyewitnesses. I want a picture, though.
I would like a picture as well. I would think that out of like 12 people, somebody would just be like, click.
Just, even if it's the worst photo ever, show me that. I don't care.
Yeah.
I like bad photos. Hello.
And it was hovering too. So they had plenty of time.
I'm saying.
Plenty of time to take a photo.
And they were all questioning each other. Did you see that? Are you looking at this? Are you seeing this? They were all talking. As you are talking, pull out your phone and take a photo.
So it was hovering silently and then disappeared into thin air, reported one employee. And somebody saw it and pointed it out. Everybody turned around and looked, and they all said there were probably 12 or 13 people who saw this thing.
And it just like evaporated.
Yep. It was really, really long. 3 levels of windows, 3-story office building.
What?
Yeah, it was huge. It was very big.
It was an office building, or it was a UFO?
No, it was a UFO, but it was like 3 stories of an office building and just about as long. Like think about like a large
wide, yeah. And a story is 10 feet. So let's go. It was 30 by 30.
Oh,
hovering
30 by 30.
Within a mile of Red Rocks. I think the story I read was right, half a mile.
Okay,
of Red.
That's wild.
And to your point, everybody kept asking each other, "Do you see it?" But not one person ever thought to pull out their phone.
Yeah. I get it. Like, you're in the middle of a weird situation. You're not thinking about your phone. I get it. I still want a photo.
How many people carry their phones in their hands?
Seriously.
In my pockets.
Yeah.
Okay. Still, it's a second to grab it.
I mean, I'm not good at taking photos. Like, I am the worst.
Same.
Tressa and I were in Madison all weekend long. I did not take a single photo.
Me neither. And I didn't realize that till you just said that.
I know. Terrible at taking
photos. You were
photos.
in Madison.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Oh.
You didn't take any photos because you were in Madison.
That's right.
You weren't in Chicago. You weren't in New York City. You were in Madison.
Who would think to take a photo
You
in
would
Madison?
take it in as opposed to taking a bunch of photographs, right?
It's so much beauty.
Point.
Yeah.
So much architecture. And
right.
Well, should I have seen then a large spacecraft? I feel like I would have been like, no, that's a photo worth taking.
I don't know that I would even. I think I'd be like, holy moly, I'm going to stare at this. So if I turn away, it's not gone when I turn back.
No, see, I think your thought would immediately be, I got to share this with my best friend.
I mean, I would text you after.
You bring up a great point, Jeni, right? How many people go to concerts and record large portions of the concert, right?
Right.
Because you want to show your friends, hey, I was at such and such a show. Here's what we saw. Now, there are artists that are now having you lock your phones as you walk into the venue.
Yep.
Third Man Records, owned by Jack White. Jack White is one of those people. I went to see him in concert. I walk in the venue, and there's all these people with these satchels. You put your phone in the satchel, they lock it, and they give it back to you. And so
you have the satchel?
You have the satchel. Yep.
Yeah, because they don't want to worry about finding people's phones at the end.
Right. They don't want to do that. And then basically when you leave, everybody's got these little devices they just pop on to take it off. First time I'd ever gone to a concert, and I didn't have my phone. And so back to your point, Jeni, about being in Madison, not taking a photo. I was so disturbed that I wasn't going to have videos of the Jack White show. But I had the best time at the show I probably had ever had before. I listened to every song. I was completely into everything. And I have great stories to talk about it. I can tell what he did during the different songs. I remember it more because I actually witnessed it with my eyes as opposed through my screen. So,
That's lovely.
the more I think about it, I can see if you're seeing that, you don't know when it's going to be gone. We all know that it was there about 30 seconds. They told us. What if it was there for 3, and 2 of them, I'm turning my head to reach down and grab my phone?
Exactly.
Oh, now that's a really good point.
I think I made that earlier, but yes, exactly.
Well, he made it better.
Obviously, I am bad at things.
So there you go. Next time you go to a show, and I hope all of you go to a concert, try to just watch the show and not pull out your phone. And it's tough and it's hard because you want those videos. But let me tell you, like Jack White says, I post videos. He posts videos out on YouTube all the time. You want to see me perform, 7 Nation Army? Go look on YouTube. You can see it.
Also, to add to that, nobody cares. You can show people videos of a show that you're at, and it's never going to be as good as being at the show. So just put it away.
Yeah, I don't take videos at concerts because it drives me crazy to be behind someone who is doing this, and then I am forced to watch the concert like that or through that. Yeah, I don't like it. I think it's annoying. I do like the advice. I think it's time for
a commercial. Great
commercial.
Point.
Perfect.
Can I send us out to commercial?
Yeah, would you?
How do we do this? Do you have a great commercial extra?
Yeah, thank you.
Are you troubled by strange noises in the middle of the night? Do you experience feelings of dread in your basement or attic? Have you or your family ever seen a spook, spectre, or ghost? Then Haunted Magazine issue 41 might just be for you. In issue 41 we have The Enfield Haunting, an interview with Dave Schrader, Danny Robbins, and lots more. Out now in stores, app stores, and online at bit.ly/Haunted Magazine. Remember, don't be normal, be paranormal.
Do you know what time it is?
Game show time! That's a very quiet air horn. Okay, so we can just do this. Air horn, air horn, air horn.
Air horn, air horn, air horn. It's time for a game show.
Ooh, all right, I'm new to this. What do we do?
A couple questions. Literally a couple.
All right.
Old Mrs. Johnson is believed to haunt the venue, wielding a hatchet and often naked, and I fully support her in that. If you were going to threaten concert goers from the other side, what would you wear and what is your weapon of choice?
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah. I wish I would have had the questions ahead of time. That is a thinking man's question.
No, it's not. Just go with go with your gut.
What would you threaten them with, and what was the second part?
What would you wear, if anything?
I think I would pull a Pete Townsend of The Who and start just wailing around with a guitar.
Oh,
right.
Nice. Yeah.
Like
a literal axe.
Like
an axe.
Some jokes don't need explanation. That was one.
Oh, no, but I'm winking, though.
Okay, for our listeners, that helps. And so the axe will be swung around, and I think I'm wearing something that Robert Plant would have worn in his heyday. Like one of those shirts unbuttoned all the way to your belly button. Some
velvet
jeans
vest.
A 4-year-old would have worn, yes.
Hip huggers, velvet hip huggers, perhaps. Embroidered.
Swinging a Pete Townsend guitar. That's it.
Be like, who is that guy? Who? Jeni?
Listen, I think I would go a little old-timey with it, and I would wear some sort of tunic dress with a cape, with a hood that I could either put up slightly Assassin's Creed. The little where you can't see my eyes.
Is this tunic just like barely covering your stuff? So you're like,
I think it would be more like a sort of a goddess tunic. I really like the shape of those. I don't know. It would be think Greek goddess statue kind of thing.
Okay.
Elegant. Yeah, and then yes, but my weapon would probably be a mace.
Oh, nice!
Something
I love a mace.
Swinging around in the head, I think, would be very a woman in a cape with a mace.
Terrifying.
Forget about it.
And so beautiful.
Right.
Just like you.
No.
Tressa, what's your answer?
I'm the host. I don't do that. Question number 2. One of the reported mysteries out of the Red Rocks is missing merchandise. My question to you. Employees stole that, right?
Oh, for sure.
Hands down.
Okay.
Yeah. What
Next
does a
venue,
ghost
go
need
ahead.
with a mug?
Yeah, right?
Nothing.
No one wants to...
Shot glass.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But ghosts
Like
don't want
ghosts,
it?
what do they want it for? I'm just assuming that you get fine china on the other side, right? And like a nice set
Do you even
of
need it?
glassware. I
I
don't know.
always
Maybe
think
you want to
what
get
the
fancy.
queen would have eaten off of, that's what you have on the other side.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A state dinner.
Yeah.
Do you need to
Does that
eat
make
that?
sense? 'Cause
Yes.
the other side is fancy, right?
Listen to me. It is
So
not
fancy.
heaven if you
That's not
cannot eat a lot of cheese
What?
or other sort of things. Why wouldn't you want to eat? Wouldn't you eat all of the fanciest foods?
Yeah. I mean,
you
the
only
ones that
eat-
I like.
Yeah, you only need to eat because of the vessel that you have on this earth.
Right.
So
You
over there,
only need to eat.
Listen, this is bringing up a whole bunch of other questions about the other side that I don't think are pertinent to this conversation.
No, it probably is not.
next
Let's
year.
move it along.
Like, can we, like, drink delightful cocktails on the other side, too?
I feel like, yeah, if you're going to have
Do you have
food,
to pay for
you might...
them?
No.
Is that why you have to have a job on the other side? Is there money on the
Listen,
other side?
you've only heard that from one
Better not
person.
be jobs on the other side.
Thank you. We've been told that twice. Twice,
No way.
actually. Mm-mm. I'm out. Like,
I'm
how?
not
What's the alternative to this and the other side? I want that.
Fire and brimstone. If I don't have to work,
What you know?
You
what?
for
What's
sure
the
are
difference?
going to have to work.
What's the difference between a job and fire and brimstone? I don't see one. Prove me
all
wrong,
the same.
ladies.
heavy lifting.
All sounds terrible.
All right, kids, let's talk about the Ryman Auditorium.
Okay.
All right, everybody okay with that? All right, it's located in Nashville, and it was constructed in the late 1800s, I think.
75? I'm guessing 75.
Yeah, 1875. It's
Right.
much older.
And it was built by,
I want to say Thomas Ryman.
yes, he was.
Was it
Do you know
really?
who he was? Yeah, it was. Do you know
I-
what his backstory?
He was, I only know this because I went to the Ryman for the first time last October, and I took the tour, and it seems to me that Thomas Ryman was a preacher, gospel preacher.
He was when
Okay.
he built the tabernacle, which is what this building originally was going to be used for.
That's
Prior
what it looks
to
like.
that,
They call it the Mother Church of Music.
yep.
Listen,
So prior to that, yep, he was a steamboat
that.
captain. Yeah, it's a real pretty building.
He was a steamboat captain?
He was a steamboat captain, and not only was he a steamboat captain, but he was a steamboat captain that liked the booze and liked the ladies.
I thought he was a shrimp boat captain.
What's the difference? Is there a
That was
difference?
Forrest Gump. I was mistaken.
We can pretend.
I mean, that could be a whole nother show if you wanted. I don't know
get to
what
that.
we talk about, but
I forget, why did it end up going from being the tabernacle to being a music venue? That's what I can't remember. Something happened, right?
yeah, the church kind of
Fizzled.
fizzled out, and then it was
Oh.
just purchased. Yeah, and then it was just purchased and used as a music hall. It was also the home of the Grand Ole Opry radio show for a number of years, 30 years, something like that.
I want to say
that's-
31 is what I remember.
Mhm.
Because because I went to a show Friday night at the Ryman, and then I went
Yeah.
to the show at the Grand Ole Opry on Saturday night. You got to go. If you're a music fan, those are key places. Now, the new Opry, not really anything like the Ryman. Built just not too long ago. It's kind of
Oh.
surrounded by a bunch of shops and stores, and it's very commercial. But the Ryman, old town, downtown, 150 years old.
Why did they move it? What's that about?
I think
Yeah,
something
what
about
is
the lease. Oh gosh, I should have researched this.
Yeah,
Something
why-
about the lease or something. And don't forget, the Opry flooded a few years ago,
Who could
and
forget?
so they brought
I don't know that.
Oh yeah, back in the big floods of 1880. No, 2010 or something.
Yeah.
The monsoons of
The
2010.
monsoons of Tennessee. Yeah, exactly.
I forgot all
And
about
so-
that horrible time.
So why are we talking about this place?
So we're
Jeni?
talking about this place because not only was the Tom Ryman, his ghost is reportedly haunting the auditorium, and he gets very, very loud when it comes to any sort of risque performance. He was first noticed when there was a production of Carmen going on, and he was very unhappy about it.
Karma.
Yeah,
I get it. I
Carmen.
get loud about risque stuff too, but it's all positive.
I find that hard to believe.
How dare you?
There was also the Gray Man, who most people think is a Confederate soldier, and he kind of hangs out in the balcony and occasionally just watches shows. Yeah, we see him hanging out, watching stuff. I mean, I guess.
And there's not a bad seat in that. I think you had a picture of it up just a moment ago.
I did. Let's look at it again if I can find
it. It is, again, like even if you're far left or far right, you are looking right down. I think forgive me, but I want to say like the furthest seat away is only like 75 feet from the stage.
Get out of here. That's great.
Think about going to see somebody in like a football stadium where you could be 300 feet away, right?
Yeah.
75 is the worst seat.
Wow.
Well, no wonder the Gray guy like hangs out and watches shows there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he's got a good seat.
Smart guy.
And what's great about that is even though it's a tiny venue, huge performers will play there because it is the mother church of music. So you can see people who will do residencies there for 10 days straight. You'll see some big band. I think Aerosmith played there not too long ago. Of course, they're not playing anymore, sadly. I don't know if you guys saw that this week. Aerosmith retired. So we're not going to see that anymore.
They all say that.
Don't.
They'll change their mind.
Don't.
What?
So go to the Ryman and go to the Ryman. You will love it.
Well, apparently, at some point, you'll get to hear the ghostly Aerosmith because Patsy Cline is reported to wander around the Ryman singing. Fall to Pieces, too, because that's not going to be creepy.
Specifically, only that song she sings?
Seriously.
Wow.
That's the one that's been
interestingly
reported.
enough, Patsy Cline Museum, I also went to that in between going to the two venues. The Patsy Cline Museum is right above the Johnny Cash Museum.
Oh, that's delightful.
I spent like 48 hours just doing every damn music thing I could possibly do, including going to Third Man Records, which is also down there.
Well, I kind of feel like if you're a music lover in Nashville, like that's kind of what you have to do, right?
Right.
Oh, it's fantastic. If you love music and if you love liquor, put the two together, and that's how you spend 48 hours. That's all you need is 48 hours in that.
We're talking about Branson, right?
Never been, never going.
Oh. Listen, though, we got to talk about the Ryman curse because that is also a thing that is reported that musicians who have played there will die in like horrific ways. Now, and here's the phrasing that I loved the most: from car accidents, fires, ODs, and slaughters.
So, what was the last one and why?
Slaughters.
How was that defined exactly?
It wasn't, and I just let it lie because I love it.
It's awful.
Just dying of slaughters. Slaughters.
How? What? Okay.
I don't know, but I enjoyed the phrasing.
Who else was tied to that?
We have Texas Ruby Fox, String Bean Ackman, Jim Reeves, and Patsy Cline.
Patsy Cline was the big one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He died plane crash, right?
Yes, indeed.
That's why if you're a musician, you don't get in a small airplane.
It doesn't really go well.
Never.
No.
I mean, I guess sometimes.
Think about people go, oh, well, that happened in the 50s and the 60s. Travis Barker, the drummer for Blink-182, was in a private jet crash, right? Burned like 90% of his body. Almost never was able to walk again.
Yeah.
You don't take those risks in your life when you live in the high life of being a rock star.
No, you should know better. Listen, rock stars of the world, don't do that. You're welcome.
It's a PSA.
Yep.
You're welcome.
All right. And that's the end of the range, unless you've got anything else, Chuck. And that quiet air horn noise means...
Pretty sure that's copyrighted.
I guess that means it's game show time! Air horn, air horn, air horn! Are you guys loving my questions? Oh, my dog's barking now. Sorry.
Oh, good.
It's just me. It is believed that there are over 35 people who have fallen victim and come to their tragic deaths to the Opry curse. Since curses are not cool, what venue would you do whatever the opposite of a curse is? I don't know, bless or whatever, I don't know. And what would the outcome for the victims be?
Oh.
Yeah.
First, I have to drink because you made a mistake during your monologue.
Thank you for acknowledging that.
Is that why? Is that why you needed the drink?
So could you repeat the question? Because I don't think I understood it.
Oh, okay. I will pass over the trivia part and say, since curses are not cool, what venue would you do whatever the opposite of a curse is to, I don't know, bless, I don't know. And what would the outcome of that be to the victims?
The opposite of a curse. What is the opposite of a curse?
Exactly. That's your choice.
Yeah. So it's like a blessing or something of some kind.
Let's say everyone
right?
who falls
Positive
victim
thing.
to plane at the Metro in Chicago gets a new puppy.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. Jeni, I'll let you take this first.
Listen, I'm going to have to go with everyone who visited the Fireside Bowl in between the years of 1990 and
It's like a very
2000.
specific. Yeah.
That's very specific. Gets a whole lot of money.
I love that.
Yeah,
I
like
would
$1
get
million
some
or
of that
$2.
money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about just performers? Because I would
No,
still
just
get-
everybody. Everybody
Oh.
who went and celebrated the great music that happened there.
And the crazy
And
scene.
the crazy scene and the horrible bathrooms.
Oh,
You're welcome for that reminder.
thank you.
It has to be a venue, or could it be in a?
doesn't. Listen, you can do whatever you
Ooh,
want. I don't really care.
I like it.
Okay, so I'm a fool. I'm a rule fool. Yeah, that's true. I'm a rule follower. What I'm going to say is every person who has seen 100 or more concerts,
Oh.
it's getting very specific like Jeni did,
Mm-hmm.
gets
like it.
to live out their rock star dream. Okay?
As long as they don't get into small planes.
Oh,
Maybe
for sure.
that's someone's dream. Maybe
No.
they want to die in a small plane.
No.
Why no? You don't judge people. It's fine.
I'm going to judge those who want to get into a small airplane.
All right.
There's no value to that.
Well, there's no wrong answer, so I guess that'll go. Number 2. It is said that Hank Williams Sr. haunts the venue. In 1964, a Hank Williams biopic was made starring George Hamilton. My question to you, what unlikely Super Tan actor would play you in your biopic? Which one would you like to play you in your biopic?
If I was a rock star?
No,
Or just-
right now, regardless.
Jeni, go ahead.
I don't know many super tan.
Yes, whatever. Who cares? Just pretend like they're super tan. It was just a fun thing to put in the question. You guys are bad at this. Scotchy.
Yeah.
Who's going to play Scotchy?
This is so
I think it's pretty easy to understand who's going to play Scotchy, right?
It
I
will
think-
be once you
Wasn't it?
tell us.
And I may be dating myself here, and this is a little before my time. But if I could get Dean Martin to play me,
Oh,
Get out of here.
right? How great would that be,
Listen.
Dino? Come
Now,
on.
hang on.
Great.
Now, would you still gonna go with it, even though half of the time wasn't he drinking apple juice?
Shh, Jenny.
I've read those stories. I try not to believe that to be true. God, I hope
It's a filthy lie. It has to be.
right, because I'm destroying my liver to be like him. Meanwhile, he was like Mother Teresa.
Yeah, come on, get out of
such
here.
a nice guy.
Those are
Is
all
there
just
a
terrible
documentary on him?
rumors.
No?
I don't know. There's
I-
got to be
I-
though, right?
I don't know. I went through a whole
So
Rat
is-
Pack phase in college, and I watched a bunch, but it always involved all of them.
Yeah, no, I just want to learn about Dino, right?
Yeah.
And I think, doesn't his daughter tour, like singing his songs?
Oh, I would love that.
I would
I
have
didn't
no
know that.
idea, but I like it.
Almost positive his
His
daughter
name is like
tours.
Dina or something.
It's real close to that.
Honestly.
It really is, yeah. DEANA, I think.
Listen,
Yeah.
I just came up with a great idea. So we need to research that and figure out where she's playing, and then the three of us should go because
The
I would
Ryman.
love that so
Yeah,
She's
much.
at the Ryman.
I don't know. I don't want her to get cursed.
Maybe
on
she'll
a-
be in
on a-
Chicago right before the seance and we can all go.
I'll just throw this out there. I know it's not a music show, but if you haven't Googled Johnny Cash's grandson, look him up. He's just started making music. You close your eyes and you think Johnny Cash is singing.
That's
I
fantastic.
think I heard that, and that sounds amazing. All right, so don't do that right now because we
Have
will
to
be
go
right
to a
back
break.
after this commercial.
Thank you,
Another
Jenny.
one?
You're welcome.
Shh.
We're just getting.
Shush.
Oh, hey, Tressa. Jeni? Oh, I'm just reading my book by international TV sensation, Dave Schrader. I'm reading the book, too. I don't remember the name of it or who wrote it, but yeah. There. I like your shirt. You? I got it on monstersloungepodcast.com. You've got a great shirt, too. Oh, this? That's so weird. I got it at monstersloungepodcast.com too. They have really great stuff. A full variety. I know, right? They have everything. Shirts. Tote bags. Clutches. A phone case, I think. It's the best.
I think that
Man,
commercial gets better every time I see it.
Seriously.
It's
What money
so
did you guys spend on that location filming?
We don't listen. Talking about money is tacky. We don't like to talk about that. So
I had to sell some organs, okay?
Yeah, we both
I
did.
don't want to.
As long as it's not the important ones.
No, I don't need a uterus.
That should be a question, Tressa. If there was one organ you wouldn't sell, what would it be?
My heart, probably. Maybe not. No, I was gonna say brain, but I'll go with heart.
Yeah. I can't sell mine because you've already stolen it.
Stop.
Do you guys want me to go ahead and log out? Is this just a YouTube thing?
Could you? We gotta, Jeni.
Yeah. That's it. That's the quiet time that we take every show.
Which one would you not
wow.
sell? Obviously,
Yeah.
you would sell your liver immediately.
I would not. My liver is highly functioning.
Okay.
Is it?
No.
Yeah. You could probably get a replacement with like some stuff at the Home Depot.
And some duct tape? Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's going to
We
need a
got
lot
this.
more than that.
Yeah, it's fine.
It was fun until I started doing podcasts. It really was.
That just means you're living.
Is that what that means? Between
Okay.
concerts and this podcast, yeah.
Mm.
You're
You guys know anybody
welcome.
that works in the hospital that can put me at the top of the list?
Do
We'll
not.
get you there. We'll get you there. According to the last couple of questions, I'm going to be coming into some money soon. So
Hooray.
we'll get you there. All right. You guys ready?
Do it.
All right. Birmingham's Sloss Furnaces. Sloss
Everybody drink.
Furnaces. I have water, but I wanted to make
Picture that place. That place is cool.
Yeah, give me a second.
That is really cool looking. That
Yeah.
was some words.
And it's a place you would never, ever think they would turn into a concert venue. It's
Oh,
old
yeah.
furnace. It's the big haystack things, whatever they call them, smokestack thing.
Yeah, I don't
Chicago
have a
just
picture
did
of it.
that with the Morton Salt. Like,
Yeah, because the wall fell down as it was an active factory, and they're like, well, let's just turn it into a venue.
let's just throw kids in here.
That's fine.
So they closed down the building and made it into a music venue?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And apparently, I haven't been, but apparently it is stunning.
Yeah, it's supposed to be great and sound is supposed to be amazing, and it's still got the Morton's like painting on the
Mural.
roof of it. You can see it from the
What
highway.
did they name the venue?
I believe it's the
Salt
salt
shed.
factory. Okay,
The Salt Factory. Nice.
I think
Salt
it's a
shed.
salt shed.
I think
yeah.
you're right. I think it's a salt shed.
Okay.
I don't go out much. I'm sorry, everyone.
All right, show them the picture.
I don't have it because I
I'm very
didn't think we were
demanding.
going to talk about this one. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
But
Well,
I do
anyway.
have questions, so go ahead.
So yeah, it was very, very, very hot in these sheds, and it was very, very dangerous.
How
as
hot
well.
was it?
It was like 120 degree Fahrenheit.
That's hot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really hot. Workers would be on shift for like 12 hours on end. It was not a lot of money compared to the dangers. Now, there was a guy who was possibly the worst guy who ever worked there, and his name was James. Middle name given to him was Scum. Last name,
No.
Wormwood. Well, yeah, somebody else dubbed him that, you know,
Well, you said it was his middle name. That's like quote unquote
given to
nickname.
him.
Air quotes.
All right,
Oh,
whatever.
given
It
to
was
him. Made it
his-
sound like his
yeah.
mom gave it to him. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
That's just my really long sigh.
Thanks.
All right, but nothing for his last name, huh? Wormwood.
I mean,
Eh,
yeah, makes
All right.
sense.
Wasn't that a movie with like Sissy Spacek?
I have no idea.
That was my uncomfortable silence. Go ahead, Jeni.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't have a reference for it. Sorry.
I don't have a reference for I Carrie? I don't know.
I've done my-
All right. So under his command, 47 men lost their lives and many got injured so badly that they couldn't work anymore. During an explosion in 1888, 6 of his men lost their eyesight. No other chief knew such records, and he was not, nobody really liked him very much. Yeah. he was-
How come?
I don't know. Maybe it was his middle name that his mom gave him, because that's just not nice.
That's weird.
At one point, this guy lost his footing at the top of the highest blast furnace and plunged into a pool of melted iron.
Then what did he do?
Instantly melting his body. He couldn't do anything. He asked for a life preserver. Guys,
help me out. What are you doing?
So reportedly is that he got dizzy and lost his footing, but a lot of people thought that he was murdered and pushed to his death by his workers.
Good for those workers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's all kinds of sightings since his death. A night watchman has reported being pushed from behind and hearing a deep voice growl, "Get back to work." And a lot of people have had that same report of just either a growl or deep voice or being pushed. He's also not the only one who fell into the biggest blast furnace. So 3 other dudes lost their life that way. They're also reported to haunt the area. They're not as pushy.
Are they all pushing people into the vat? I don't understand. They're not as pushy.
Right.
Also,
no, they're not mean. They're just seen every so often.
Oh, they're just like, so.
Yeah. That dude was kind of like jerk in life, jerk in death, pushes people around, et cetera, et cetera.
It was his essence.
Didn't know where you were going with that, Jeni. I just want to make sure that you knew. You were walking the knife's edge there for a moment.
You don't understand.
She does that.
Jeni's very lost.
I don't know what's happening right now.
By the way, Raphael, thank you. Silkwood, Meryl Streep.
Okay, yeah,
Not
that makes more
Wormwood,
sense.
Okay.
I still don't know that movie at all, but I know the
none
name.
of those things, but I do appreciate
I think it won Academy Awards.
Yeah,
right.
Why would I watch that?
Somebody after the show is going to have to explain to me what I did. Because I don't know.
So well.
Nope. Keep going, Jeni.
Listen, this is my favorite story about this. In 1971, on the verge of closing the furnaces, night shift chief Samuel Blumenthal made one last round in the furnaces when he was face to face with a monster. Which
Monster?
Of course I love. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Are there any descriptions of this monster at all?
There are.
Oh.
He said that it was half human, half demon. And he tried pushing Blumenthal towards the biggest blast furnace's stairs, but he refused to be pushed. He started fighting the monster with his bare fists. When he was found, he was covered in third-degree burns, even though the ovens were out. He died a couple of days later after his encounter with this monster.
Okay.
Nope.
Are we sure it just wasn't like a weird-looking guy? Are we sure that it wasn't like...
Why are you asking me if I'm sure about anything on a paranormal show?
Because, Jeni, I don't have anyone else to ask.
She's asking for proof, in other words.
Thank you.
Oh, you wanted proof?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Here, let me write it through my proof box.
Finally, I've been asking you to get that out. Proof. Filofax.
Yeah, it's just all back here. I got everything, guys.
Why have you been holding back?
Dude, Bigfoot's on the couch out there.
Jeni.
Sorry, I didn't know anybody really wanted to see him.
Game time. I got this now. Okay, Here we go. Make it an easier question.
Oh, they're so easy. Okay, so the sloths furnacer. Let me start that over.
Furnacers.
The sloths furnaces had vats of piping hot liquid iron, much like one that both the T-1000 and the T-800 met their ultimate demise in Terminator 2 in. If you were an android that time traveled to the past, whose clothes would you steal and where? And why?
Ready?
I'm very...
trying to make me go first.
I'm just trying to be chivalrous.
Like fun you are.
Watch your mouth.
I will not.
So if you were an android...
That time traveled to the past. Doesn't matter what time you pick. Whose clothes would you steal?
What was the second part?
Wouldn't be the time you were in.
Oh, yeah, it can be that. I don't care.
Jeni, I'm trying to buy you some time here. I can only buy
Yeah, no, I'm getting it. But there was a second part to that question.
Whose clothes would you steal and then put on your body? Where?
Oh, okay. And where? I thought you meant where. Anyway, I would draw
podcast
this
people.
out a little bit longer
Listen.
so that I could come up with a very, very, very good answer. You know what? I think it would have to be Audrey Hepburn's dress.
Oh, that's so boring.
I know, from Breakfast at Tiffany's, I think.
The black one?
Yeah.
Not even like a Phyllis Diller, like a beautiful muumuu with baraboo feathers.
No,
everywhere?
muumuu is more your style.
It's really
feel like-
not, but I would do that if I was time traveling. You gotta be comfy.
I feel like I feel like the kind of 70s vibe, though, with the
Oh, yeah, for sure.
multicolors.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
But
I feel like that's
I
your vibe.
prefer something more form-fitting.
Well, yeah, no, I understand that.
I would wear anything that the Bee Gees wore.
Oh, so like no buttons on the shirt.
Yeah.
Maybe some like spandex pants that match the shirt, same fabric. Almost
Yep.
a jumpsuit, but not quite.
But not.
Pretty good.
Nope.
And the
Nice.
shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Platforms.
Bee Gees all the way.
I very much dig that and appreciate your candor. Thank you.
It was time.
Hey, the night shift chief Samuel Blumenthal that claimed to be attacked by a monster and eventually succumbed to his wounds. That guy? That's crazy, right? What monster do you think you guys could take?
So when you say monster, is this
whatever.
real or imaginary?
Whatever makes your heart happy.
TV?
Whatever makes
or
your heart
movie?
happy.
I'm
Don't
just
make me
buying
say it
time for
again.
Jenny. I'm looking at Jenny's eye.
No. You're going first on this one, buddy.
Why didn't you just say that? So you want me to go first? What monster would I be to do what?
That you could actually take. You could take that guy down. He's not gonna get you because you could beat him up.
I think there's only one right answer here.
I'm listening.
Not superhero, correct? You said monster.
Monster.
Correct.
If I were to go head to head, hand to hand combat,
Toe to toe.
the only monster
Yep.
that I knew I could take
Uh-huh.
was Casper.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, get wrecked, Casper.
See? Because he's so nice, right?
Yeah, he
He
wouldn't
would
see it
back down.
coming.
Nope. He would
You
stop.
could totally take him.
Yeah.
Yep. You're welcome.
That's a great answer.
That is very, very good.
Jenny, do you have a less, I don't know, wussy answer?
Listen, I firmly believe that I could probably take down a werewolf. I feel like I'd be able to.
You
take
are
down-
insane.
No way.
You could not.
I think I would.
I
I'd
don't
be able
think
to.
so.
What would you
Listen,
use?
a silver bullet, obviously.
What if you don't have one? What if you left him at home?
I'm gonna have to melt it down and make one.
You don't have time because he's at your door right now.
Then I'll have some sort of silver letter opener.
Oh,
and
a
I will
silver
stab
letter?
him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
That's you don't know what I walk around with.
I do actually, and it's not that.
Jenny must not fly very much. She's carrying silver letter openers everywhere she goes.
Just all over the place, like 10 of them inside my coat, like just tucked.
That's
It's a very Nicolas
lot.
Cage move.
it is.
Like I see Nicolas Cage getting on an airplane with like 10 silver letter openers inside his black leather jacket.
Yeah, and he's like, "What? What's the problem?"
Yeah.
You see, he's returning
get
the
away.
dinosaur skull.
Haven't you noticed that I rattle everywhere I go?
Yeah,
How what
I
that
just
is?
Yep.
I didn't
don't
want to
wanna
say
say
what I
it.
thought it was, but
New here. It's not for me to say.
thank you. I appreciate that as a woman. Listen, we have 4 minutes. Not enough time to cover all the other venues.
No, there's one more great venue though.
Yes,
Jenny,
tell
Jenny.
us.
Cincinnati Music Hall,
Yep.
Yep.
right? Literally built on top of a pauper's graveyard.
Yep.
This is a venue I went to, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years ago, I guess. And do you have a picture of the building?
I do.
All right, if you could bring that up, because it's a beautiful building,
It's stunning.
stunning
That's
building.
the outside.
Look at
Oh,
that.
look it.
Yeah.
Looks like a
Gorgeous.
church. It looks like the Ryman, but bigger. Gorgeous venue.
Look at that inside
Look at
theater.
I know.
Amazing.
It's
Right?
so
It
pretty.
looks more like a theater where you go to see a play or Mr. Lincoln, right? As opposed
Yep.
to seeing music. I'm trying to
Mr.
think who I
Lincoln?
saw there. Gosh,
Was
it was
it-
so many years ago now.
Mr. Lincoln.
I want to say it was Don Henley of the Eagles, I think. If I think back. Just knowing, because you have all the little signs that they have outside talking about the history. And there was nothing about being built on top of a cemetery.
I
No,
wonder why
and
that is.
who was buried there?
Who was buried there? I don't know.
Cincinnati.
It was people. It was people who had passed away from like horrific things. So they were either from the asylum, which
Okay, I thought you meant
was
like there
in
were
that-
celebrities.
No,
Yeah, it was like a
like-
pauper's graveyard.
yeah. So it was people from the asylum, and it was also orphans because there was an orphanage there as well until it relocated someplace else.
And it was a ton of unmarked graves. So
Mhm.
every time they dig around there, they're like, oh, here's another
Like
one.
still, I think like back in the 80s, they were digging around there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact numbers, so I'm going to just say it up front. But I want to say like they dug in the first day, they found like 80 pounds of bones.
Yeah, it was 80 pounds. And then the second day they found 112 pounds.
Yeah. So 200 pounds of bones just 30, 40 years ago. Still
That
to
are
this
all
Yeah.
dehydrated bones, so they're lighter than they would be normally. Listen, I've got dehydrated bones in my head right now because
Again, I'm pretty sure that's a different show, Tressa.
What?
Dehydrated Bones. That's the name of the show.
No.
Dehydrated Bones.
it's one of my favorites, so I don't know what the problem is. But
It's all
anyway, I'm sorry.
We'll talk about it next week.
Okay, cool.
Was that
Do
it?
we get too long on this show?
Not
Or
really,
does it
because
have
then
to
I have
stop?
to edit.
No, Tressa doesn't like it when we go long because then she's got to do extra work with editing. This is what happens.
Do you guys?
I mean,
Do you
she
have-
cuts me off mid-sentence all the time.
I don't know
The
what you're
kind
talking
of money
about.
that you are
Shush.
investing in this show and the kind of money you're receiving back, I think a few extra minutes of editing is worth your time, Tressa.
I donated so many organs so that we could make that commercial.
You have many organs. The state.
Except the one she won't. We talked about that earlier. There's one
Oh.
organ everybody won't donate.
Correct.
The brain, heart. I don't
A
know.
brain and a heart, what is that good for? Absolutely
Nothing.
nothing. Say it again.
Thank you. That I mean, yes.
Air horn, air horn, air horn.
Oh, is that what you wanted?
Yes, please play the quietest air horn.
You're welcome. Because I do have a couple questions about the Cincinnati Music Hall.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'll go first this time.
In 1879, they built a horticultural hall with a grotto and a waterfall and a 2-foot-long alligator. It wasn't built there, they added it. They lost that alligator and they assumed it was stolen or dead or ran away or whatever. But they later found it 18 months later. If you could disappear in a single building for 18 months, what would it be? And how would you entertain yourself for 18 months?
I would disappear in the shed aquarium, and I think swimming with everything there would be how I would entertain myself.
Wouldn't you be afraid you would get eaten by things that don't know what you are?
Wait, like the sharks that they have there? Absolutely
I don't
not.
know.
I love those things. Get me in the water with sharks is all I'm saying. I like sharks.
Is that true?
It is accurate.
Huh.
And I know how to dive too, so I could just scuba my way all over the place.
Can you do that without equipment?
They have equipment there.
You could steal it.
Or just use it since I'd be lost in the building and no one could find me.
What would you eat for
Sneak.
18 months? Mice?
Fish.
Ew, gross.
They have a cafeteria.
I'd rather eat mice. Chachi, where would you hide for 18 months?
Edinburgh Castle.
Oh,
Ooh.
fancy.
I
Very
was thinking
fancy.
ahead. I like Jenny's idea, but at some point you have to sleep. Not a good place to sleep at the shed
Yeah.
aquarium, right?
There's
Great
a
during the
cubby.
day. I enjoy my sleep, as you can imagine. And so to me, it'd be like, I'll hang out at the Edinburgh Castle, but then some really cool places to sleep. And they have a gift shop full of scotch.
There it is.
Oh,
Just
There it
saying.
is, right there.
they're going to be like, we have a ghost. All the scotch keeps disappearing.
It's scotchy.
I don't know what that means, is what they would say. Question 2.
Yep.
In 1918, the music hall opened the first real indoor circus. If you were a sideshow act, what would you be?
Who's going first, Jenny?
Oh man. I'll go first. I'll go
Okay.
first.
Please.
Okay. If I were a sideshow act, what would I?
Yeah, that's what I
That means
said.
you have to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I gotta think about it for a second. Why? Do you have an instantaneous answer over there?
I think it's pretty clear what my sideshow act would be.
Everybody knows.
Right.
I don't.
Tressa, why don't you answer for me? You know the answer.
The world's scotchiest man.
That's right.
Oh my god, I was guessing.
No one's paying to see that.
Oh, I disagree.
I would.
Listen,
Listen, everyone in the chat
right
would.
now. People are going to watch the show tomorrow night. You're just waiting for the train wreck.
Listen, all those people giving P60 News money, it's not for Dave, it's for Scotchy. Everybody knows that.
Remind them of that.
Daily, I do.
Listen, I'm here to entertain others. I am the clown. That might go on my shirt tomorrow night. I am the clown.
Hashtag.
Hashtag I am the clown.
I know. We'll have to fight about that later. Jeni, what's your sideshow?
I'd be the mermaid lady.
Why? Is it because you like water and sharks?
We could get you
My
some
other
shorts.
My other answer would be the bearded lady. I would not mind that. I would just sit around and do this.
Yeah, and all the
All day
dudes would
long.
leave you alone, and that would be great.
Wouldn't
As
that
a
be
man,
great?
Jenny,
What?
as a man,
Mhm.
I would say you wouldn't enjoy doing that for very long.
I feel like I disagree. Also, all of the men would leave me alone.
Yeah, that's
Because you have a
there's
beard?
Yes.
No, we would talk to you because you'd be like one of us. Like, dude, what's up?
that. Yeah,
Love
but
your
it's a
beard.
different talk. It's a very different talk.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
learn something for sure about the other side of the world, yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely learn something. Also, I wouldn't have to answer the question bear or man in woods.
Oh, that's true.
You'd know the
Probably
answer.
would.
Listen, Tressa, we've gone over time. That's all I wanted.
no.
No, that's what I
What?
wanted. I got you over time.
You're welcome. That was just for
What?
you, Chachi. All for you, Chachi. All for you.
It's been so much fun.
Chachi,
Good.
so happy you could join us.
Me
Next
too.
time,
This is the
you'll
delight.
have to read from your book that you wrote. And
Next week?
then, yeah, next week.
All
Yeah.
right, I'll write one this week.
All right.
Cool.
Sounds
That's
good.
perfect. I hear
That's wonderful.
ChatGPT is really good with like showing your own voice. So that's an idea for you. Everybody else, don't forget to find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and the Paranormal 60 Network. Like, comment, subscribe, and check out our merch on our website, monstersloungepodcast.com. Send us an email or comment. We love hearing from people. So until next time, thanks for visiting the Monsters Lounge.
Bye.